Hello everyone, I hope you are having a great day. Welcome to our session titled The Appalachian Way. My name is Carson and I work for Orientation, and today presenting we also have Ray Bradley, who serves on the Student Conduct Board, and Sarah Parvin, who also serves on the Student Conduct Board. In our session today, we are going to speak with you about some very important community expectations to help you prepare for joining the Appalachian State community. We are so excited that you have chosen to come to App State. But before we get started, take a second to think about some of the main reasons that led you to attend App State. Whether you're taking classes on or off our physical campus, you will be part of a community and hope that you feel at home on our physical campus and online education platform. As an Appalachian State student, we hope that you are representing the Appalachian Way in your communities across the state of North Carolina and beyond.
Hi, I'm Sarah. While there are plenty of different things that led you to come to App State, you're joining an amazing community. As a member of the community, we all have important parts to play. This slide has a quote from J.J. Brown, who is our Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs. Each of you have decided to attend App State for your own reasons, purposes, or goals, but you each have the ability to help others achieve their own as well. What JJ means here is that if you are spending time giving back to your community, no matter where it is located, you're living the Appalachian Way. Investing in each other is a surefire way that we will become the community we are striving to be. The university does have a lot to offer each and every one of you. However, App State is not the only thing in Boone. The town itself has a population of approximately 19,000 people. When classes are in session and in person, there are approximately 20,000 students here, which means that you all will double the population of the town. Please keep that in mind as we all work to support each other on campus and off within the larger Boone community so that we can live the Appalachian Way.
As you are coming to App State to pursue the course of study that will launch or help you progress into your career, there are some important things to keep in mind. You will want to do your best to attend each class, whether synchronous or asynchronous. You will want to read all communication from your faculty, which will most likely be sent through ASU Learn, as all official correspondence goes to your university student email. Take responsibility for asking questions to better understand the material, which can also help your fellow classmates with understanding it as well. Challenge yourself to put in your best effort to complete your assignments with integrity. Speaking of integrity, we also have an academic integrity code. It includes a statement we want you to know called the Honor Pledge, which states, "I pledge on my honor that I have not violated the Appalachian State University Academic Integrity Code. With every assignment and exam you complete, it is expected that your work is your own." When it comes to academic integrity, what do you think can be violations of the Academic Integrity Code? All 5 things shown here are violations of the Academic Integrity Code. The way that you're taught to cite your sources in papers, contribute to group work, and even show sources on PowerPoint presentations may be different than what you were taught to do in high school. My best advice for you if you aren't sure what to do is ask. Professors are here to help you learn. There are also resources on campus such as the Writing Center that can also help you. And with this, I will pass it along to Carson to talk about some more important information.
As you begin your collegiate career at App State, think about what you want most from your time here. And think about all the little things that can get in the way. Here's a short video to illustrate what we mean.
These are roughly 28,835 jelly beans. I counted out 500 of them and used those to weigh the rest. In this pile, there's 1 jelly bean for each day that the average American will live. You might have more beans in your life, or maybe less, but on average, this is the time we have. Here's a single bean. It's your very first day. A special day, but kind of a rough day on everyone involved. Add 364 more and you have the first year of your life. Now, for a sense of scale, here are your first 15 years. 5,475 days, which brings us to the threshold of adulthood, and at that moment, this is the time that we have left. And this is, on average, what we will do with all that time. We will be asleep for a total of 8,477 days. If we're lucky, some of that time we'll be sleeping next to someone we love. We will be in the process of eating, drinking, or preparing food for 1,635 days. We'll be at work, hopefully doing something satisfying, for the equivalent of 3,202 of those days. 1,099 days will be spent commuting or traveling from one place to another, maybe a little bit more if you live in LA. On average, we will watch television in one form or another for a total of 2,676 days. Household activities, like chores and tending to our pets and shopping, will take another 1,576 days. And we will care for the needs and well-being of others, our friends and family, for 564 days. We'll spend 671 days bathing, grooming, and doing all other bathroom-related activities, and another 720 days will go to community activities, like religious and civic duties, charities, and taking classes. After we remove all those beans, this is what remains. This is the time that we have left. Time for laughing, swimming, making art, going on hikes, text messages, reading, checking Facebook, playing softball, maybe even teaching yourself how to play the guitar. So what are you going to do with this time? How much of it do you think you've already used up? If you only had half of it, what would you do differently? What about half of that? How much time have you already spent worrying instead of doing something that you love? What if you just had one more day? What are you going to do today?
Another aspect of living the Appalachian Way is to make decisions that will be the most beneficial for yourself and your fellow community members. As you can see here, the mission of the Office of Student Conduct is to educate students about community standards, promote student learning and accountability, and facilitate the development of thoughtful and responsible individuals so everyone can make the best decisions possible. There may be times when the best decision may not be made, and it may violate the Code of Student Conduct. If so, you may meet with a staff member in the Office of Student Conduct to talk through the alleged incident and discuss a potential outcome. We are here as a resource to help students navigate through these situations so they can learn and move forward. Through the Code of Conduct, the Office of Student Conduct strives to reduce and prevent behavior that undermines student academic success, address behavior that negatively detracts from the educational mission of the university, improve the health and safety of students and the community, provide timely support and resources for students, and prevent violence in our community. We just mentioned the Code of Student Conduct, but what is it exactly? It is a set of community standards to promote student learning and accountability. The Code of Student Conduct applies to students wherever they are. That means a student's behavior on and off campus. You can always expect an educational process from interactions with the Office of Student Conduct, but what does that mean? You can expect the process to be educational in nature, have other people there to support you if you would like, to be treated fairly, to be presumed not responsible, and to have the opportunity to share what has occurred from your perspective.
To provide some context on violations, here are the top 5 most common violations that occurred during the 2021-2022 academic year. Before we showed the video earlier, we mentioned getting caught up in the moment or little things that can get in the way. Here are some of the things we mean. More information about the Code of Student Conduct can be found at studentconduct.appstate.edu.
We have an amnesty policy here at App State, and it is in place to prevent student deaths from alcohol or drugs. If you are out with your friends and are using drugs or drinking and someone has a medical emergency, we want you to call for help without worrying about getting into trouble on campus. The amnesty policy is designed to assist students who may be experiencing a medical emergency from alcohol and/or drug consumption. If you become concerned about yourself, a friend, or even someone you've never met, call for help. This policy would cover the person with the medical emergency and the person who calls for help. The amnesty policy is also applicable for events hosted by student organizations. On the screen, you will see some signs of a drug and/or alcohol emergency and when it would be time to call for help. Calling for help can come in many different forms. If you are on campus, it could be your RA in the residence hall, to 911, or to the police. And with this, I will pass it back to Sarah.
We are a public institution and we uphold freedom of speech and expression. Know that being a part of a large community means that sometimes you may see or hear things that you disagree with or even find deeply offensive. If this impacts you negatively, please contact the Office of the Dean of Students for support. Their information is included on this slide and can easily be found on the App State website. As a public university with an open campus, you can't drown out the speech of someone you don't like. If there are issues, you can report them to the Office of Student Conduct. If you want to learn more about freedom of speech, there are events scheduled around Constitution Day each fall.
Sometimes expression can go too far and violates our harassment policy, like engaging in unwelcome conduct based on one of the protected classes. Examples of protected class include age, color, disability, gender, gender identity, gender expression, genetic information, national origin, political affiliation, race, religion, sex, sexual orientation, and veteran status. Know that if this happens, then we are not living the Appalachian way. Harassment is not one joke or comment. It creates an environment that impacts others' ability to participate in their educational experience here at Appalachian. If this is happening to you or someone you know, please talk to a staff member so that they can help you get connected with resources. Harassment can look like repeated verbal comments that impact an individual's ability to continue academically at the university, graphic and written statements, including on cell phones and on the internet, other conduct that may be physically threatening or harmful, and additionally, but not limited to, stalking, sexual harassment, dating violence, and sexual assault.
The reality is that relationship violence happens. If something happens to you or a friend, the Office of Title IX Compliance, the Office of the Dean of Students, University Police, Office of Student Conduct, Student Health Services, and the Office of Counseling Services are all resources on campus that can help you navigate through some of your options. You are not alone. As you can see in the photo graphic here, the Red Flag Campaign offers a way for all of you to become involved in spotting the red flags of relationship violence and being an active bystander to do something about it. For example, if you are at a party and you see someone being overly aggressive or not respecting boundaries, you can step in and help, whether you know the person or not. Helping someone get home safely can make a big difference. If you or another have questions regarding sex-based misconduct, information can be found at title9.appstate.edu.
Counseling Services is a confidential resource available to main campus students or online students who have opted into the health services fee. They have a 24-hour support services via phone and also have telehealth services available. If it is after hours, you can call this number to get connected with someone. You don't have to be struggling with a huge concern to seek out counseling. People who are having test anxiety, stress management issues, or homesickness to bigger concerns like depression, eating disorders, or suicidal ideation all use counseling center services. If you notice any of the following in yourself or in a friend, it may be time to seek out counseling center services.
It's Up to Me is our campaign for Appalachian Cares, which embodies the Appalachian Way. This means being aware of what's going on in our community. It can be as simple as noticing someone isn't going to class, speaking with them about it, and really listening to what they have to say. Appalachian has many resources and people who want you to be successful here. As we conclude the presentation, we hope that you remember that it's up to me and us to help each other. That is the Appalachian Way.